Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your mid-January 2022 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. I think this might be my first set of tarot readings in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. This is a new deck of mine. Isn't the back of it really cool? I don't know how bright it's going to be because the sun is out and I don't have any lighting. I'm kind of doing this with just natural lighting and but anyway, let's see what we have here. I like this deck. It's very colorful. I'm a big color person. Okay. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Two of Cups. This is a card of committing to somebody, and you see it's kind of like a spiritual type of a union. Well, I was going to say romantic. I don't know why. But when I looked at this deck, it looked kind of spiritual too, almost like they're both getting baptized. But it is, connected with romantic situations where you're reuniting with someone. I guess it could be any type of emotional relationship, including a friendship. And certainly now with Venus retrograde and Mercury set to go retrograde, the past comes up for all of us, if that is relevant. And that could be the theme for you as we approach the middle of the month. And, whether this is you having already started some kind of a reunion with somebody, or that's on the table, you're thinking about it, that could be the theme at the moment. In the past position, we have the Four of Cups reversed, which actually I think can be a good thing because the Four of Cups in the upright position can be the person who is experiencing dissatisfaction in their life, and that kind of rather flat, unsatisfied emotion. And in the reverse position, that is leaving their life. And so usually if I'm going to combine it with the Two of Cups, it's because they have been in communication with somebody who they loved before, who they cared for before, and now they realize how much they miss that individual. Oh, it's interesting. I found this. Perfect. It's selenite, I think. It's very cool to the touch. So there's the romantic angle there too with the crystal. So yeah, it's kind of like you never know what you have until you miss it. And maybe you thought someone else was a better choice, and this has kind of made it clear to you that you wanted someone else instead. The higher message is the Wheel of Fortune in the reversed position, so I'll hold it up. And this is a card associated with Jupiter. It's funny. So even like timing wise, when Jupiter was retrograde, thinking about earlier this year, Jupiter was retrograde, and this was when we talk about Jupiter, we're talking about luck and being in sync, with things manifesting for you. So maybe there was when I said the word manifest, it was 444, by the way, so that might be important. I'm talking about the time of the video, not the time it is now. And so what I would say is that with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, as a spiritual lesson, it could be saying that sometimes things do not align, and people, if they don't have faith in whatever it is that they're dealing with, they might assume that they should um, move on or not do something because the timing isn't right in that moment. And when I was saying that, I thought, well, that's kind of like impatience sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes that can be more like impatience. So isn't that more like Aries? But since you're right next to Aries, Taurus, you might have an inner planet in Aries like Mars or Venus, where you're just like easily bored or easily like frustrated, and you become impatient. You want something to happen, even though Taurus is associated with being very patient. So, and of course, the moon could be in Aries as well, or some other sign that's just more like fickle, like Gemini and that kind of thing. And so it could be saying to you that you have to be able to see beyond appearances sometimes. And that's when the more you get in touch with your intuition, the more you can sense these things. Otherwise, you will tend to just like look at life on the surface and make your decisions based on that. And then you don't have this thing that you're wanting, or that you just are so impatient to make something happen that like a love situation, maybe it's lust, maybe it's not even love, and then you repent in leisure. Act in haste, repent in leisure. What crosses you is the Strength card. Some of these cards I still haven't seen yet. That's kind of funny, but it's pretty, isn't it? With all those pinks, and I noticed they combine pink and yellow a lot, which is really kind of interesting, or orange. And when I say pink, like that hot pink or magenta. So the Strength card is associated with Leo, and it's also associated with your confidence level. And when it's in the challenge position, it can show that maybe you're at a vulnerable level. And I would say it's because you're kind of in transition. Of course, you do have Uranus transiting your sign, Taurus, and that is making you also kind of question all of the things that you thought were so solid in your life. It really is bringing in this fresh air, and this kind of like unusual influences in your life. And I think you're going to like that, or maybe you've already experienced it to some degree. But it still can be kind of challenging because it can make you feel like you don't know yourself as much as you thought you did, and that can increase the level of confusion sometimes, or that desire for freedom that Uranus has. That can be like, with the Two of Cups, that's about commitment. So yeah, I mean, there might be some Taurians out here that the issue is whether you should commit. Maybe you have Venus in Gemini, and you're just very you like to keep your options open, and somebody else wants you to commit. I normally go into this thinking, well, Taurus wants to be in a relationship, but not always. Not with just anybody. So you have to know yourself, know thyself. And that means that you can't be relying on other people's opinions of you or whatever they think. It's nice to take things into account that other people think, but ultimately it's your decision. what's coming in is the Five of Cups in reverse, another good card to have in reverse. Because in the upright position, it's about mourning the loss of something. This is about getting over the mourning period. And even the cards that normally have black in it and, the dark negative colors, this has more cheery imagery. So they always, you'll see with these decks, unless they're totally avoiding the Rider-Waite deck, that they show the person with their back to some of the cups. Like they're holding a cup and he's looking into it, and it's almost like an empty cup, and he's seeing the glass half empty. But there are these other cups beside him that he's not looking at, and they could have, they could be almost full. So it's about, and you see the sun peeking out behind that dark cloud. Also, do you see the little pink starfish? This is the first time I've actually drawn this card, and I can immediately see what they're trying to show here. It's like, just like the star card that is connected to healing and hopefulness. This card is associated with mourning a loss, but there's also the sun. There's a silver lining. And that kind of thing is, I get this feeling from this reading that some of you have been dealing with some kind of relationship that has ended. And maybe, and I don't know if you were the one who ended it. Maybe you didn't end it. But I think that it has freed you from some of the more negative emotions that you were experiencing. It's just that you have to get your strength back, and that means that confidence back from a negative, what do they call that? Like the negative remnants of the situation that you experienced. You can feel better about a situation and still have those kinds of like, the trauma is too heavy of a word, but just the after effects of things that you went through that you have to still process, you still have to heal from. And the outcome, read this in the reverse position. The Princess of Torches is the version of the Page of Wands, and we're reading it in the reversed position. Pages are messages, and wands can be like a very positive thing, but it's in the challenge position. So I would say a couple of things. First of all, remember that we are entering a Mercury retrograde. So if you are waiting on a message from someone, and maybe it has this theme of reunion or something along those lines, you have to be patient, and maybe you have to wait until Mercury goes direct in early February to firm up your plans or what have you. Also, watch out for other people and them injecting things into your situation, because they may be coming from envy, and maybe you don't even want to put it out there if you are getting back together with someone, because you know that there are people who want to poison the well, and they want to take good news and they want to turn it upside down. Okay, that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I do a lot of astrological readings. I have a special double reading that I am promoting because of it's more extensive and it's at a special price compared to individual readings, called the Deep Dive Reading. You can find out more information about that and my other readings at the link below. I'm at rainaminastrology.com. Take care.